Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews. Today we're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemlewe on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 124. JoyNews, your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, hundreds of Kaswa residents protest poor state of the Kaswa Cape Coast Highway, blamed for the loss of scores of innocent lives on daily basis. We are live with the demonstrators for an update. Also this afternoon, waterborne diseases begin to emerge 2 days after screening of flood victims at Mepe by the Ghana Medical Association and the Ghana National Registered Nurses Association. Meanwhile, the NDC has served notice it will demand answers from the VRA and the government on the devastating floods in the Volta and other regions caused by the spillage of the Akosombo Dam as it donates relief items to victims. More, as national chairman of the party, calls on government to swallow its pride and call on international community for emergency support. And on a rather sad note, celebrated Ghanaian lawyer Akoto Ampao passes on. We'll bring you all the details. We'll bring you business, sports, and the latest in world news. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X on JoyNews on TV. My personal handle is @Danana Aisha. Please stay for details. Thousands of passengers are stranded after some residents of Kaswa and its environs blocked Kaswa-Accra Highway in a demonstration. The demonstrators are angry with the government for failing to fix the poor road, which they claim is claiming scores of innocent lives on a daily basis. There's more in this report.
Over 1,000 residents have hit the Kaswa-Accra Highway to demonstrate over poor road network. Kaswa-Accra Highway normally gets blocked after every downpour. In an interview with JoyNews, some of the residents expressed their frustration about the situation.
We
form long queues for our leaders and we are taken for granted. This road was constructed by Kaswa and no maintenance has been done.
By 8 years. By 8 years. And to call it me be found. And so Tony come where Banny Ghana Yomodia.
After all these complaints, nothing will be done about the situation.
Nanado used free education to deceive us, and we are seeing no progress in the country. The president must fix our roads.
The roads are bad and our cars get spoiled easily. We need the roads fixed immediately because we spend a lot fixing our cars. Have been in traffic for more than 2 hours.
It's very bad.
No, my no, I came in how I bread. Our Kaswa.
One day, we must allow the president to experience the struggle we go through on this road. We can spend 3 hours in traffic for a 20 minutes journey.
No, my block, no, my I came in how I bread. No, so when we say yes, Mujano boy and said the one born on our.
Meanwhile, some of the opinion leaders who championed the demonstration called on the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, to fix the road to save lives and property.
Overdue. Kaswa Kwani, I come here some for a dean was watching. Penny for because Kaswa gateway to central region and parts of the country. Penny for a dean central for yes, we we believe that this is the time, as I said, penny for sorry. Now, when we are pine because all the time we can be a penny for they've been quiet about it, and we think that as people who speak for the voiceless, as I see about Bonti, maybe a didi, ma a map for you.
Yeah, coffee announced me who now Timwa. Mebua Casamebua. And to Yanina, Enkrofo omo adwuma e free omo nsa. Omo business is egu. Omo yire no me omo ma egu. Omo ayensu oto atutan hwe omo ka akwahye amena. Me nyina ye. Mpanyifo ba ha. Na nado dan ko akufuado. Wono ankasa ni. The Minister of Transport, the Minister of Highway, the Minister of Works and Hayache. Yanam so yenu fi ntem. Yakwa dwuma so yenu adwuma ntem. Yeni V8 so na yeto amena mu a yafamu afi. Eti ye bre kwan no so. Enye ne ache. Eti aban ene abamu mpanifo. MPs ahodo a wo kwan yi so. Ekwa kosi hawa kumsi no musu nyina yesre omo. Omo ko muti nwuram no mo ne aban kasa. No mo nya ye kwan no maye. Na ye befi a yabantem.
We'll be going live on the ground to speak with our reporter Kofi of JoyNews for more on this. But right now, well, I'm told Kofi is on. All right, so we'll get him to tell us more about it. Right now, the new Patriotic Party chairman in the Chereponi constituency in the Northeast region, Suleiman Aliu, has forewarned the party it will lose the 2024 general elections if government does not address the challenges of poor road conditions and transportation systems in the area. According to him, the poor state of the road network as well as general lack of development have generated and continue to fuel public anger against the party as well as government in the constituency. The chairman was speaking to JoyNews during a communal work which he organized to fix the unmotorable portions of the Yendi-Chereponi road. Correspondent Elias Tanko has more.
One of the major campaign promises of the new Patriotic Party to the chiefs and people of the Chereponi district in both the 2016 and 20 elections was the pledge to fix the poor road conditions and transportation system. The Chereponi district, with an area size of approximately 1,080 kilometers square, has none of its roads in good shape, including in particular the four major roads connecting the district to other parts of the country, namely the Chereponi Yendi Road, Chereponi Saboba Road, Chereponi Bunkpurgu Road, and Chereponi Wanjuga Sansan Mangu Road. Authorities say the poor road infrastructure in the district remains the most pressing worry for the residents. A situation has hampered the movement of goods and public services, with the district and its residents often cut off from the rest of the country in rainy seasons. Despite being a traditional NDC stronghold, a majority of residents were convinced by the promise of the new Patriotic Party and voted massively to retain President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in 2020. However, 7 years into the MPP administration, the residents say the promise to fix the roads and many more remain unfulfilled, whilst the condition of the roads has gone from bad to worse. The residents are unhappy and demand the immediate fulfillment of the promise.
But they don't mind us. We are here with our bicycles, our motorbike. Anytime we are passing here, we are facing it. The time we can, they'll come and stand here, urging us to vote for them. And we wouldn't say anything because that is our obligation to vote for them. When we vote for you, we also do what they need for.
So our market women, farmers, and the users of this road suffers.
I mean, do you think that the people of this area have been neglected?
We feel so. We feel we've been neglected because that is why the youth have decided to take their own opinion to be doing that work, because all the efforts to the government, to our stakeholders, have all been in vain.
Strongly, I think yes, it's true. They've been neglected in terms of road construction. In 2024 elections, the good people of Chereponi, because it's a topic that they've been saying every Wednesday. They've been saying that, look, 2024 election is going to be issues on their roads. If their roads are not constructed, the chances of the party is very, very low.
The Chereponi Wapuli Yendi Road is by far the busiest road in the district, connecting it to Yendi and other eastern corridor towns and further to Tamale. It also links the country to the Republic of Togo. The road was under construction during the 2020 electioneering period. However, the contractor demobilized and vacated the site immediately after the elections were over. Now riddled with potholes and what could qualify as gullies, portions of the road have been washed away with some bridges damaged by torrential rain rains, which has rendered the road unmotorable and made traveling on the road a Herculean task. As agitations are mounting against the government over the failed promise, a party chairman in the constituency organized and led a communal work to put the road in shape to reduce the plight of motorists. Speaking to Joy News, the chairman, Suleimana Aliu, explained why he decided to lead the communal work on the road.
People bring complaints to me every blessed day because it is my government that is in power. And that is why, in collaboration with stakeholders, chiefs, or other unions within the district, we decided to come out today to gravel some part of the road. As the chairman for the new patriotic party, the MPP in Chereponi, I have to do that. I have to lead the people to gravel some part of this road because what people say about the road and my government is unpleasant to me.
But we bet me I can be a chairman. Me chairman, constituency chairman, because I'm a
He further cautioned the party will lose the election in the constituency if the government failed to fix the roads as promised.
I have personally informed the regional minister, the regional chairman, to help me push this to the national level, and hopefully something will come out positive for us. And I'm happy today that the regional minister massive work ongoing by the community members.
From Chereponi, Ilyasu Tanko reporting for Joy News.
The opposition National Democratic Congress has served notice it will demand answers from government and the Volta River Authority over what they say is the poor handling of the spillage and the flooding situation in the Volta and adjoining regions. There has been severe devastation in several communities after the Akosombo Dam was spilled of excess water. Speaking to victims after donating relief items on behalf of their leader John Mahama, National Chairman of the party Johnson Asiedu-Nketia argued that once the flood waters recede and the victims have enough help, they will begin a series of action to demand answers.
Who are living outside the region and are the main beneficiaries of your sacrifices. We should see it as an obligation on our part to help you to lessen your burden. We shouldn't pretend that whatever we will be spending here is just to do you any favor. In fact, it is paying part of our debt towards the people of this area who have already sacrificed to ensure that the rest of the country has electricity and can develop industries and can sleep on the electricity. So, Togbo Mamao, today is not a period for long speeches. I'm only concluding by saying that I am not a scientist. I am not an engineer. But I have very serious questions to ask. Because the dam was not constructed yesterday. And flooding, when water is flowing into the lake, even if it is from Burkina Faso, it doesn't flow to Volta region within 24 hours. And so if we are doing our work well as scientists, we should know that when there is heavy rainfall and water is entering the rivers that feed the dam, we should know that within some 1 month or 2 months, the effect could be calculated and preventive actions should be taken. This is not the first time the dam is being opened for water to spill, we must ask, how come that in all the previous years that we have had cause to spill water, the effect has not been this devastating? There are questions that we should ask. But I will not say that we should stop the relief activity and be pursuing the causes. Let us chase away the cat. At the appropriate time, we will have to tame the mouse. We will have to find answers to very serious questions. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'm urging all of you to come together. Let's forget for the time being our political differences.
The minority leader, Dr. Kaswa Forsen, has also been speaking.
First, let me say that we are here as the NDC party and on the authority of our leader, the former President John Dramani Mahama, to share in your pain and to make some few donations. On behalf of the NDC, we say we are sorry. In your language, we say Baba Nami. We are extremely sorry for what has happened to you, and we can assure you that even though we are an opposition party, we care about what is happening here. Clearly, from the information that we have picked from our MPs and our people on the ground, it shows that the government doesn't really care that much. It shows clearly that so far, the government has not shown real commitment to the people of Volta region. Let me also say that on behalf of the people of Ghana, the NDC minority in Parliament want to apologize to the people of Volta region for the statement made by the President of the Republic of Ghana. We consider that statement as very unfortunate, and this statement should not come from the father of the land in times like this. And it surprises us, and we are really disappointed in a statement coming from His Excellency the President. We call on him also to apologize to the people of Volta region in particular for what he said. But today, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has given us some items to donate, to show our concern. We know that this may not be enough, but this is our widow's mite. We came here with 2,000 bags of rice.
Some constituents have also been sharing their concerns that they had been neglected and some of the donated items were not reaching them. We spoke with the MP who responded to this.
That is, it's an ongoing process. And so we've actually sent some items to Jetokwe area some 3-4 days ago. And so we are going to continue. Had it not been for what JM is doing today, we would have been on the field by now. In fact, around Agbeve, we know the communities there that have been severely affected. Alika Kope there, Chachu Kope there, Amutinu there. All of them have been severely, in fact, they've even deserted. And so they've been displaced. And that we can even count close to about 30, 40, households that have been displaced there. So it's not like we have refused to attend to them. We sent to each of these communities 100 bags of water already. And then we are actually planning to send them some foodstuff, which we will be doing maybe after this event. And so we have not left anyone. In fact, we can't afford to do that. And so let everybody rest assured that we will get to them. We will go. It's a caravan on the move.
Waterborne diseases is already being detected just 2 days into the screening of victims of the flood in Midday. This came during a special screening exercise by the Ghana Medical Association and the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association in a bid to prevent potential health crises across the 8 inundated districts. Their focus is on an estimated 26,000 flood victims. My colleague Carlos Coloni is on site engaging with flood victims and medical personnel. He joins us live with more. Carlos, what are the health experts saying regarding the waterborne diseases?
Aisha, so they have been screening for suspected malaria, also for cholera and diarrhea. And they started this exercise about 2 days ago, and they have now been giving us figures, and they're saying that they have recorded a number of diarrhea cases as well as malaria and cholera. But according to them, these are not significant numbers, so they can now declare that, well, it's a public health concern. And so they are still collating the data, so they'll be able to determine the level of it. They also added that a number of them have developed some emotional or psychological issues, and they are also looking at that. So it's a combination of a lot of factors as they continue to do that. I must say that this exercise is being led by the Ghana Medical Association as well as the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association in collaboration with other support agencies like the Volta River Authority, the District Assembly, and NADMO. So as we speak, there are about 6 centers set up in the North Tong area alone in Midday. And then these health professionals are on the ground and making sure that they're able to determine the level of the situation. Then that will direct the next line of action. Aisha.
You heard the Carlos Coloni reporting from the affected districts where we're hearing that there is waterborne diseases being detected by health experts who are conducting a screening exercise. Definitely, there is more we'll be bringing you from those areas in our subsequent bulletins. To other stories, the Ghana Cocoa Board has begun the prosecution of owners of cocoa farms who have given their cocoa farms up for illegal mining. According to Cocoa Board, such acts are against the law and reduce cocoa production in the country. Speaking to JoyNews, the head of the anti-galamsey desk at the office of the Cocoa Board, a CEO, Professor Michael Kwating, says they will continue to fish out such perpetrators.
Per our investigation, we got to know that about 580 hectares were marked for destruction, and some few cocoa trees were even destroyed as at that time. And as I speak to you, the information we are gathering is that destruction is still going on. Yes, Cocoa Board, we know there's a law that is protecting cocoa. That is the Economic Plant Protection Act. That was passed 1979. The law says nobody has the right to destroy cocoa without Cocoa Board's consent. So whenever we receive such cases, refer the issue to courts to handle it. And so we process them for courts. That's why we are here today. I would say in thousands, in terms of hectares, not even acre. So it is costing us. We've already started with a sensitization program. We initially started with Western South region. We move on to Eastern region, part of Ashanti, then even Central. So there's a sensitization going on, and that is where now farmers are getting the information, the understanding behind this law. Now they know that, oh, there's a law and Cocoa Board is ready to back us. So they've started, bringing their petition to us. Yeah, my advice to the farmers is that, initially they were saying, oh, the price is low. That is why some of them are, giving it to galamsees. But we all know that the producer price has been increased. And now farmers are happily working in their cocoa farms. We advise that those behind the selling of or giving their lands to, galamsees, they should stop. There are some chiefs also behind this. We are advising them or cautioning them to put a stop to it.
Scientists are warning of the possible presence of some poisonous heavy metals in some food crops and fish from mining-prone areas of the country. The Environmental Protection Agency found high concentrations of mercury in fish from the Tano River tested in 2022. Similar tests conducted in some leafy vegetables and herbs found they absorb disturbing concentrations of heavy metals. These are contained in the latest Hotline Trust Africa multimedia documentary Poisoned for Gold, produced by Erastus Asaridonko. Here are excerpts.
The milky brown color of the rivers and streams flowing across the country indicate suspended particles, including poisonous heavy metals. 2 years ago, residents of Ewusiejo in the Ahanta West district of the Western region were drinking the polluted water, but soon they started experiencing strange afflictions, as recounted by Theodora Yamwa, a nurse in charge of the town's chips compound.
Some of them came here with frequent urinating and also burning sensation when they are urinating, and also some came with skin rashes.
We fetched samples from the Tano, Brim, Butre, Ofing, Anuru, Ankobra, Pra, and other polluted sources of water to be tested for heavy metals at the Sheath Laboratory of the KNUST's Chemistry Department. After a week of testing, the results were in.
For standard's sake, we use the World Health Organization standards.
The World Health Organization pegs the acceptable standard for arsenic at 0.0050 milligrams per liter, while the US and Ghana pegs it at 0.010 milligram per liter. The Oda, Brim, Pra, Ankobra, Enru, Ofin, Ashre, Butre, Subri, and Tano registered between 0.216 and 0.444 milligrams per liter, which is 0.434 milligrams higher than acceptable levels. This is 20.6 to 55.6% higher than acceptable levels in water using the American and Ghanaian standards. Dr. Eugene Ansa explains the test results.
All these water samples that are coming from our water bodies in Ghana were found to be acidic in nature, that is having a pH less than 7. It means that it has got a corrosive effect, and whenever you drink it, you have irritations in the throat. Drinking waters are expected to be neutral. In terms of toxic metals, lead was ranked as the highest toxic metal present in all these water samples. And should anybody drink this water or even swim in these waters, then they are exposed to high levels of lead. The other metals include chromium, cadmium, and arsenic, and all these samples could not pass the quality standards.
On a rather sad note, celebrated Ghanaian lawyer Anthony Akoto-Ampao has died. Close sources to the family confirmed to Asase Radio. Ampao, also a human rights activist, is said to have died at the University of Ghana Medical Center Friday, October 20. The veteran lawyer, according to family sources, has not been well since the beginning of 2023. Known as Sheshe right from his student days at the University of Ghana, Ampao was part of the New Patriotic Party's legal team in the electoral petition of 2013. He was a partner of Akufo-Addo Prempeh and Co. We're still live on JoyNews today. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll bring you more in business.
Hello, my name is Emma Davis. Let's do some business now. Lacking essential knowledge and strategies to manage small and medium-scale enterprises as an entrepreneur hinders the growth and success of businesses. Entrepreneurs who lack funding and limited knowledge struggle to create proper business plans and efficiently manage operations. As an intervention, a national entrepreneurship and innovation plan has equipped over 200 young entrepreneurs with comprehensive SME development insights for business growth and sustainability. Clinton Yeboah has more.
The conference by NIP and Conrad Adna Stifting was on the theme Understanding the SME Ecosystem in Ghana. It's brought together key stakeholders including entrepreneurs, policymakers and academicians to discuss challenges, opportunities and strategies in the small and medium enterprise. Beneficiaries were provided insight on topics like status quo of SMEs in the enterprise system, academic training and enterprise development. They were taken through the private sector in enterprise development and SME actors and their stories. Director of Programs at CAS, Joseph Egjapon Damoy, said the conference will provide participants how to understand and survive in the SME ecosystem.
So we reached out to the NEIP and the Gimpa Business School to see how best we can help solve these problems. So our initial discussion with the two institutions was that, okay, let's try and understand the ecosystem from our own perspective instead of just reading reports. So let's bring key stakeholders together to talk about the issues, and then based on our understanding and interpretation, then collectively we can start addressing or helping to solve some of the problems.
Chief Executive Officer of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovative Plan, Kofi Owusu Nkansa, assures that efforts like this will heighten entrepreneurial spirit to solve youth unemployment.
There's a lot going on, and what we did was to have an overview of it, to encourage young people to take advantage of it, to grow their businesses so that in future we can have our own unicorns who contribute to our GDP. And government cannot do it alone. That is why I'm happy KAS put this together. The private sector have to play their parts, civil society have to play their parts, the beneficiaries have to play their parts, academia have to do same. And when all these forces come together, we can, build a strong entrepreneurial nation to achieve fiscal consolidation and also to create jobs for the youth.
Participants indicated that the conference has afforded them the opportunity to channel their grievances to the appropriate quarters.
It will make the government to know what we, the manufacturers, are going through, especially when it comes to women in manufacturing. We go through a whole lot of things. Not only that, sometimes it's also financial issues, because developing a product, coming out with a product, it takes a lot to come out with a product. So with this thing that is going on, I think that the government really want to know what is going underground.
Reporting for JoyNews, Clinton Yeboah.
The Executive Secretary of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, Dr. Ishmael Aka, has called on students and other utility consumers to adopt measures to manage their consumption. Speaking at the Sunyani Nursing Training College, Dr. Aka said the Commission wants the students to know the process of resolving utility concerns and become ambassadors to help others appreciate the need to be regular in the payment of utility tariffs. Precious Semevo has the rest.
The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission's engagement with consumers has been extended to tertiary institutions. In the Bono region, students of the Sunyani Nursing Training College were exposed to the activities of the Commission to regulate the provision of utilities and understand their concerns and the process of resolutions. The students who had their nagging questions answered were also taken through energy conservation and utility tariffs. Dr. Ishmael Aka is the Executive Secretary of PURC.
One big issue is that at times when they are not getting the electricity or water at a level they want, the challenge is that they go to the utilities. And when they go and they don't get the solution, there are instances where they don't more like have any option. So we are here to tell them that a PURC is there. But first of all, go to the utility that is providing the service. When you go and you don't get the satisfaction, reach out to PURC and we'll work with the utility to solve your issues for you. When they vacate, they go home. And when they go home, their parents and others, we think that they can be worthy ambassadors explaining, not from PURC, but from their children, why they should be efficient, why they should pay their bills.
With the increasing utility tariffs, Dr. Aka called on students and other consumers to adopt efficient measures to manage their consumptions.
When you look at most universities and tertiary institutions, the facility user fee has a component that goes into utilities, water and electricity. And often we see students complaining that the fee is just increasing. So again, to also tell them that even if you've not rented but you are living in a student hostel, you have that responsibility to be efficient in the electricity and the water you use.
That'll be all for business. My name is Emma Davis. Sports is next.
Time now to bring you sports on Joy News today with me, Muftau Nabila Abla, the president of the Confederation of African Football. Dr. Patrice Moses says that the African Football League is a competition that will make football in the continent globally competitive. According to him, it is about time the football governing body for football in the continent comes up with ideas that will make football very competitive at the global level.
African Football League will be a very important step to ensure that club football on the African continent is globally competitive. It's exciting, the fans love it, and it involves the best players on the continent, and the prize money will be amongst the biggest. We recognize that an important part of maintaining and ensuring that the best African players play in Africa is linked to the salaries that we will be paying all of these players. Those salaries have to be competitive, and we also want to make sure that the clubs that are participating, it's an important part towards the football clubs on the continent becoming self-sustaining and, very importantly, becoming profitable. The performances of the African national teams during the World Cup, as well as the World Cup in Qatar, we were very proud of the performance of Morocco, making history and qualifying to the semi-finals of the World Cup. And all of the nations, Cameroon, Senegal, Tunisia and Ghana that represented us in Qatar, made us proud to show the world that African football is as good as the best in the world. At the recent Women's Football World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, our women's national teams made Africa proud. The exciting performances by Nigeria, by Morocco, by South Africa and Zambia indicated that amongst our women, the football on the continent is globally competitive. We're excited that this is part of the process to ensure that the players we have in Africa are paid well, are recognized that they are world-class, and the football on the African continent is exciting and attractive to football spectators and supporters.
Meanwhile, FIFA President Gianni Infantino says that his outfit has given CAF the needed support to ensure that they organize one of the best competitions in the continent. According to him, it's about time CAF organizes competitions that will make the clubs self-sustainable.
Competition is a great and effective way of taking African football to the next level. And that is something I'm personally delighted to see. It will do that by driving foreign and domestic investment in African football, by providing the optimum platform for the continent's best clubs and players to compete against each other, by engaging supporters in Africa and across the globe, and by setting the standard for sustained and sustainable development, accessibility and inclusivity in Africa. We have had just 2 African finalists in the history of the FIFA Club World Cup. This competition will help these teams develop the footballing and financial muscle to consistently match and perhaps then defeat the very best of the rest of the world has to offer. FIFA has been supporting CAF and the African Football League, the AFL, by sharing its wealth of organizational and logistical expertise. And I'm proud to say that CAF and the AFL have done a wonderful job.
The first game of the African League is between Simba FC of Tanzania and then Al Ahly of Egypt. And that game will be live on Joy Prime. It kicks off at 3 p.m. Also, domestically, Accra Lions come up against Real Tamale United. House of Oak will play FC Samatex. Nations FC will host Kumasi Asante Kotoko. It's going to be quite an interesting one because the board chairman of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, his son is the owner of Nations FC. That's going to be quite an interesting fixture. Kerala United versus Sanobo Akwa. Dreams FC because will come up against Midiama FC. Ediana Stars will play Great Olympics. In Suatruman will come against Legan Cities. Bechim United versus Brekum Chelsea. And Bibiane Gold Stars will play Heart of Lions. These are the fixtures for March Day 4 in the Ghana Premier League. That's your sports for now. We do have more sports stories on my joyonline.com. Do not forget to join the sports team on Joy 99.7 FM as you come your way with Game Plan. Up next is World News. What's up?
For the first time in 5 years, Presbyterian Boys SHS stormed their way into the grand finale of the National Science and Maths Quiz. Legon Persec faced off against their arch rivals in Fanspim and Keta SHS in a heated battle of intellect. The contest kicked off with Fanspim taking the lead. With each twist and turn, the atmosphere crackled with tension until Persec, in a jaw-dropping finale, sealed the deal with a stellar 44 points. Jacqueline and Somayabo caught up with the schools after the contest.
Contest with the 7-time champion, that is Persec Legon, leading with some 44 points. But let me move to, we have Keta Senior High School. They were very optimistic right now. Keta, now how are you feeling right now, knowing that you put up quite an impressive performance today?
Okay. For us, God has taken us very far when we even least expected it. So all what we want to say is we thank God for taking us this far. And it is what it is. Next year, we are coming back stronger, and we are thanking God for how far He has made this contest. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. What about you?
Oh, okay.
I hope you are not down. You're okay with your
No, I am not. I am not at all, because you could see that the contest was a beautiful one. Yeah, these are big schools coming together. Even though it didn't end how we expected and all, but we are very proud of our guys. They did very well. Because you could see 8-9, 8-9, 8-9.
So what should we expect from Keta next year?
We are coming for the trophy.
See, when we began, we left it in the hands of God. And next year too, everything is still in the hands of God. So
and we are coming for the trophy.
No problem.
That's the promise?
Yes, we are coming
that's
for
the
the
promise.
trophy. We are coming strong next year. We are coming strong next year, don't worry.
So that is students, all students and students from Keta Senior High School. But I am here with the winners themselves, that is Persec Legon, and they won this contest with some 44 points. I believe you are a trainer. You are part of the trainers. How are you feeling right now?
Big relief. A very big relief.
You know, Infante Pem nearly gave you a run for your money. I realized you were all praying. How are you feeling at that moment? When Infante Pem was leading?
At that moment where I was praying, I just felt this sense of peace around me. And then, like, I just had to keep praying because I didn't want to. I mean, anything I'm so could have happened. And then we trusted God that God is going to give us this victory. So I just had to still keep my trust in Him and not lose my faith, even though things were not going as planned. So I just like to thank God for everything. Just like to thank God for everything. I mean, it's a very big relief. I mean, being in the finals 5 consecutive times is a big relief. And I'd like to thank God for everything. Thank you.
Right now, moving forward, we are just a step away to the finale. What should we expect from your boys?
Nothing but the best from God.
So you are an old student, right? How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling so happy. I'm so happy. This gives me nostalgia. It's like last year's finals. I mean, at the start, we knew that Infante Pem would give us a good contest, and I'll say kudos to them. They actually gave us a good contest, but we proved to them that we are the reigning champions. Yes.
Yeah, I realized at a point you were all praying because it became very tight at a point. We realized that Infante Pem was leading. Personally, I thought today wouldn't be your day, but then you guys pulled through. At that point, when the scores were close, how were you feeling then?
Honestly,
were you scared?
Honestly, I was very scared. I was very scared, but we know that this year our mantra is our God is great.
It was an exhilarating moment as contestants of Yulo Krobo SHS returned to a heroic welcome by staff, students of the school and residents of Somenya and its adjoining communities after their historic win at the NSMQ. The contestants Victor Kofi Bedasi and Gabriel Kofi Apia valiantly secured the school their first NSMQ seat to make a debut appearance at the quarterfinal stage. Emmanuel Bright Kweko has more.
Students of Yulo Krobo SHS singing and dancing to tunes of praise at the school's morning devotion after a historic performance by the quiz team at the National Science and Math Quiz. As a token of appreciation, the students and staff of the school paraded a team on the principal streets of Somenya as a welcome.
I'll give you a reaction. Tell me the specific place it happens. Yulo Krobo, the Krebs cycle.
It occurs in the matrix of the mitochondria.
That's correct.
The school first qualified to the national competition in 2022, but were kicked out at the early stages. Their defeat was only motivation for them to push harder in the subsequent years. This was evidently seen in their performance in this year's competition after toppling the likes of St. Hubert Seminary SHS to secure an NSMQ seed for the first time.
I am the law of inertia. Who am I? Yulo Krobo.
Newton's first law of motion.
That is correct. At the end of round 5, here are the scores. Atebubu Senior High School, 35 points. St. Monica Senior High School, 36 points. Yulo Krobo Senior High School, 52 points.
And that's how we wrap up the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Aisha Ryan. Do log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. To enjoy the rest of our programs.